Hi, I'm Kay Choi. Welcome back to my channel. First of all, and I feel kind of annoyed that I feel the need to address this, but I feel the need to address that I'm not wearing makeup. I didn't do my hair. I'm wearing a hoodie. Basically, I've been working from home all day and I didn't, put makeup on when I got ready in the morning. And now that it's the end of the workday, I don't really see a point in doing that just to film this video. So that is why this situation is happening now. I don't know if you can tell maybe from my Instagram stories, but I've been pretty busy and traveling a lot for work. So it's been pretty hard to try to keep up with everything YouTube-wise, but I want to be consistent. So today I posted on my Instagram story asking you to submit questions for a Q&A. And so it's been, I think, 3 months since my last Q&A, so I'm excited to do this, excited to answer some of your questions. Like the previous Q&A, a lot of the questions have to do with consulting and work-life balance and things like that, so I will try to answer as many as I can, and of course different ones from the previous Q&A, which I will link in the description box. I have the questions pulled up here. Somebody asks, tips to apply for a master's in management when you are a language major? That's a really good question, and actually one of my good friends from grad school, she was a Spanish and Portuguese major in undergrad and then went straight through to her master's in management. I don't know if there's anything particular that you should do when you apply as a language major as opposed to a different type of major. Really, you want to show a well-rounded application. Grades are important, of course, and test scores, but also your extracurriculars. And I think the important thing just with any college application, but especially a grad school or post-grad application, is to show a clear understanding or plan for your way forward and why you are pursuing this additional degree. I would guess that a lot of language majors that apply for a master's in management might want to go into international business or international relations. So if that's an interest of yours, maybe explain why you want to go into that and what specifically you want to do in that field to make a difference. So maybe things like that in your personal statement would help. For fastest growth in management consulting, should I do MIM now or MBA later? MIM being Masters in Management. In terms of fastest growth, I don't know, because technically you could go straight into consulting from undergrad and then you would be a year ahead in your growth than somebody who did undergrad, then a year of their master's in management degree, and then went into consulting. So that's one angle to look at it. You might get a later start. In my case, I had some work experience before getting my master's in management, which is not as common. So my career path was a little bit different. Getting an MBA later on in your career can help you increase your salary. So that also isn't necessarily the fastest thing, because a lot of people with their MBA, I think the average number of years of work experience is about 5 years. So that, is more of a long-term thing as well. But once you get your MBA, then you can see some, career progression and salary progression and things like that. Does consulting make you feel accomplished? Yes. So I know I haven't really talked about this on my channel before, but I do change management consulting, and it's specifically focused a lot on people. So the people side of change. What that means is that when one of our clients go through a change, so change meaning maybe they're merging with another company, maybe they're deploying a new technology, maybe they're just trying to be better at customer service and they want to change that, like a culture change, if you will. A lot of consulting companies might help with the actual strategy of the change. So with the merger, they might help with, figuring out who gets to stay, what the new organization is, things like that. With tech change, the consultant might help actually develop the system or the software that's going to be implemented. But what I focus on is once that change is there, how do you get people to actually engage in it, to understand it, and want to change? Because naturally, people do not want to change. They don't want to do what other people tell them. They want to act on what they believe and their own decisions. So it's really important to get folks to understand the why behind a change. For me, I feel very accomplished just knowing that I'm helping make people's lives better at work, because the worst thing is when you're at work and you're just completely disengaged and you don't understand, why your company is doing what it's doing and you feel like you're not brought along the journey. Not sure if you could hear the dog barking. So yeah, I would say I feel accomplished and I'm just super happy with the work that I get to do. I see 2 questions here next to each other. Was consulting the main field or goal after acquiring your master's degree? And what was the decisive moment for you to leave PR and move into consulting? And I think I answer both of these questions in my How to Switch Careers video, so I will link that in the cards and in the description box for you. But short answer, yes, consulting was my main goal. One of the reasons I wanted to leave PR was going from a more consumer-facing external communications role to more internal employee engagement strategy, that type of role. Another related question, I am a software engineer but seem to like consulting. Any ideas on how I can switch? So again, that video on how to switch careers just goes through a basic framework, I guess, that you can use to decide and figure out how to, take the right steps to make a career switch. In terms of going from being a software engineer to consulting, probably the most natural fit I see is going into tech or IT consulting, and I talk a little bit about that in another video of mine that gives an overview of different consultant roles, so I will link that in the description box as well. Currently a senior at Cal, go Bears. What are some of your tips or lessons for a soon-to-be post-grad? I think my number 1 tip would just be to not compare yourself to others. That is something that I learned over many years from being an undergrad English major and comparing myself to pre-med students, to business students. And especially when I graduated, I didn't secure that full-time job, but started out with an internship and then worked my way from there. It was hard at times not to compare myself to other people and seeing them making more money than me or just seeming like they were more accomplished. But I think in the end, I'm glad that I followed what I wanted to do, and now I've ended up in a job that I really love. So yeah, everyone's journey is different. So as you go through your post-grad journey, just remember that. How do you manage your energy when you travel and work so much? I try to just give myself the rest that I know I need. I might not get all the rest that I want, but I still try to take care of myself in that way. Something else I do is I usually won't stay up really late doing work, but I will wake up early to do work. And sometimes that could be a trap because then you'll sleep past your alarm and then be rushing and scrambling in the morning to get things done. But usually that does work out for me because I would rather just get the rest at a reasonable hour at night and then wake up early than to stay up and then still need to get up pretty early for work and then just have an off day the next day. So that's maybe one tactic that you can try. Another 2 sort of related questions, productivity tips, especially when working on something in one's free time with a 9-to-5 job, and how do you balance being busy with work but also editing and filming videos for YouTube? You know how I just said that I try to give myself the rest that I need? Sometimes with hobbies, and for me that's YouTube, you have to just forego rest to get things done. And I find that while work can be a passion and it is really great if that fully aligns, oftentimes it's not 100% your life's passion. And so a lot of people have things on the side that they work on, whether they're hobbies or a side hustle. And usually those hobbies and side hustles are more of a passion and we're more willing to lose sleep over it, literally. So at times I spend my entire weekend working on a YouTube video and don't really socialize. Sometimes I will have a late night working on editing a video when I don't have time over the weekend. So it's all just priorities in terms of sleep, hobby, work, etc. Now, of course, sometimes I have to take a break or I have to skip uploading a video for a week, and that's because other things in my life take priority. Mostly it's because of work, and that obviously takes priority for me over YouTube. But where I can, I will sacrifice other things to continue my hobby. Let's wrap up with a few travel-related questions. So my friend Julia, hi Julia, she asked, what are the first things you research when traveling to a new place? That would definitely be food, and I usually honestly just look at Google Maps a lot of the time, at least in the States. If I'm going to a new city, I will just open up Google Maps, search restaurants in my area or whatever area I want to explore, and just see what's out there. The reason I like doing that is it's just easier for me to see it on a map versus having Yelp open. And I know there's a map view on Yelp, but I don't know, I just like the interface of using Google Maps better. In terms of going abroad, namely Europe, because that's where most of my travels have been, I will look at TripAdvisor, but I will also look at blog posts or vlogs, and also ask friends. I love to just get recommendations from friends and start from there. Another travel related question is, where will you be traveling this year? So outside of just the places I travel for work, I don't really have any plans this year. I'm potentially going to be going to Orlando, Florida to go to Disney World. I have never been to Disney World actually. Being from LA, I've been to Disneyland, but have never been to Disney World in Florida. So hoping to go there near the end of this year. How do you plan your itinerary? So I'm going to assume that's just like when I'm traveling to a new place. And again, it's all around the food. So I will figure out where I want to eat dinner or lunch or breakfast on a certain day, and I'll plan like the landmarks or museums or anything like that in between based on the location of those food establishments. I think my friend Shu would be very proud of that answer. She is a food and travel vlogger, so I'll link her YouTube channel in the description box, but she has really amazing travel vlogs that also are just all about the food. So she also plans her itineraries around food. But definitely go check out her channel if you want some more travel content. I know some people really like my travel vlogs, but I don't get to do as much of it as I would like. So definitely go check out her channel to get that travel vlog fix. All right, so those are all the questions that I'm going to answer in this video. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted questions. If you want to be aware of when I'm doing my next Q&A, be sure to follow me on Instagram and you can see when I post on my stories for another Q&A. I hope my answers to your questions about consulting and time management and travel were helpful, and please do leave any more ideas or suggestions for content on my channel in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!